I graphing one system of linear inequalities, I'm just graphing, or one linear inequality, I'm graphing two on the same graph. Okay. And then the solution set is where they overlap. Okay. So, graph following system. And the nice thing when we're doing these is the only way to solve a system of linear inequalities is by graphing. You don't have to do a bunch of algebra with these. All you have to do is graph the inequality like we did yesterday. Just with this first one, let's graph 2x plus y is less than 4. How do I graph that, Abby? Where does my x go?
Your x would be -2.
-2? That's not -2x, it's just 2x plus 4y.
It'd be 2x.
Yeah, so where's my x go?
On 2.
Yeah, positive 2, right? Okay, where's my y go?
On the 4.
Up 4, yeah. Shaded or dashed? Or solid or dashed?
Dashed.
Dashed, yeah. Now, which side does the shading go? Is 0 plus 0 less than 4?
Yeah.
So my shade's going to be down here. Okay. Now, with this one, how do I graph that, Taylor? And I know you weren't here yesterday, but that's okay. You can still do it. Just graphing like y equals 2x plus 1. So where do I start?
Like doing, so your y-intercept would be 1.
Yep.
And your x would be 2.
What's my 2? That's my...
That's your, it'd be 2 over 1.
Right, that's my slope. So I'm going to go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. Now the part that you missed yesterday is this part. Okay, since this is just greater than, that's just less than, what kind of line am I going to have? It's dashed. If this was greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, that's going to be a solid line. Okay, so this one's going to be a dashed line. Now, if I plug in 0, 0, is 0 greater than 1?
No.
No. So I'm going to go on the other side of the line, which would be up here. So, what's my solution? My solution is where they overlap. Alright, so my solution with these two lines, I know it's not very dark where my lines are. My solution set is going to be just where they overlap. Make sense? So would -1, +4 be the solution to this?
Yes.
Yeah, -1, +4 is up here somewhere, right? That's in the green. Right? If I pick, say, 0, -5, is that a solution? But it's in the red.
But it's not the word.
Right, it has to be in both. So 0, -5 wouldn't work. Obviously 5, 0 wouldn't work because that's not even in any of the shade. Okay. Make sense? So another one. How am I going to graph this first one, Johnny?
Well, you would start at 2.
Start at 2. Good.
And you would go down 1 over 1.
Very good. Solid or dash?
I can't quite see it.
Nope, sorry.
Solid.
Solid, perfect. Alrighty. Now, do you remember which side the shade goes on? Right, it should go up above, and again, we can check, 0, 0 is not on the line. Is 0 greater than 2? No. So, my shade is gonna be up there. 2x plus 4y is less than 4. How am I gonna graph that, Jaden?
Your x is 2,
X is 2,
your y is 1,
my y is 1. Solid or dashed?
dashed.
Good. Now, which side of the line do I pick?
Would you shade under it?
I would shade under, right? So where's my overlap?
Right there, on the bottom.
It's just my little triangle right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all my overlap is just that little shade. If you want to kind of avoid some confusion, you know, just put a couple lines where your shade should be, and then you could kind of erase the parts that don't matter. You know, just kind of to eliminate a little bit of confusion. Okay, now I know that my shade is just that little section. Alright. Any questions on that? Essentially it's the same thing we did yesterday. It's just doing one more line. One more line, one more shade, and then seeing where they overlap. Right, what we're adding is, let's write two linear inequalities for each one. Alright, so again, when we're writing these, we're just writing them as if it's a line, right? Okay, so the shading, I could kind of, whoa, that's intense. The shading I kind of ignore for a little bit, but with this, let's go with this equation first. Mark this one red. So with this red one, y, I'm going to leave my something, my inequality sign alone for a minute. What's my y-intercept?
-4.
Does the -4 go in front of the x or after the x?
After.
Good. Okay, next I need to find my slope. So we need a point there, and where else does it about cross? Maybe right there. Right, a pretty close point. So my slope is what? Rise over run, so I go -3 over, so -3 halves x minus 4, I like it. Okay, now the only other thing is we need to figure out, is it greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to? Well, the shade for this line is pretty much above it, right? And if I plugged in 0, 0, is 0 going to be greater than or less than -4? And 0 is included, so it's going to be greater than, right? Is it going to be greater than, just greater than, or greater than or equal to?
Greater than 3.
Greater than or equal to, because it's a solid line. Good. All right, next one. Blue. Y-intercept. +2, right? Next thing we need to find a point. Kind of cross the line. I'm going to go maybe right there. Actually, this one might even be a little bit better. I just go here. So what's my slope? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1, 2, 3, 4. So +5/4. Okay, now this one the shading is under, and 0, 0 is included again, right? So is 0 greater than or less than 2?
Less than.
Less than or just
Less than
or
or equal to.
less than or equal to again because our line is solid. Do I need to do anything else? No, I'm done. And that's my answer.